Paramilitary 2 right there. That's definitely a much bigger knife for sure. Let's put it next to the Para 3. The handle length, right? Handle length is going to be, let's see, handle length. It's locked again, right? So it kind of locks on its own. This thing has a mind of its own. Just had to pause there for a second, so I had to remove this safety mechanism here. You saw the title, you saw the thumbnail. So is the Kershaw Leek still relatively a good knife to buy this year? Does it still hold up to the competition? Does it still have what it takes to be the EDC budget king? Hello and what is going on, guys? Welcome back to Miguel EDC. My name is Miguel and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reviewing this guy right here, the Kershaw Leek. Kershaw Leek. I've gotten a chance to EDC this guy for about 2 weeks now. If you haven't already seen the unboxing of this knife on the channel, make sure to check that out. I was very impressed right off the bat, and yeah, definitely even more impressed now that I have been able to EDC this knife for a good solid amount of time. And by the way, guys, links will be in the description for any product that we show on the video. So if you want to check out those affiliate links, they'll be in the description. Make sure to check them out down below. And they do help out the channel, but that is totally up to you. So about the Kershaw Leek, right? This knife is a beauty, right? I'm gonna give you some quick stats, and then we'll get more into the knife here in just a moment. But this knife has a 14C28N. I'm gonna open it up here. There it is, a 14C28N blade, and it also has a stainless steel handle, right? So it kind of gives you the whole look all around, stainless steel look all around, but the blade is 14C28N. This knife is a Ken Onion design. I gotta tell you, this was the very first knife that I fell in love with. This design spoke to me right away, right off the bat. When I first got into EDC and I first started looking into knives, this design right here, guys, I kid you not, was the very first design that I fell in love with. And even till this day, this is one of my favorite knives of all time. So give you a quick look around. So it does have the speed safe assist. So when you flip it open to a certain point like this, I'll try to show that, it would swing open the rest of the way all on its own, right? That's called the speed safe. This is a assisted knife, right? And the weight should come in around 3 ounces. We're going to check that in just a moment. And this should be a nice and even 3-inch blade. We're going to get some measurements here as we speak, but right off the bat, right, this is a very solid flipper, right? It does have, by the way, so it does have this right here, this mechanism. It does allow for you to lock and unlock the knife, right? If it's like this all the way, right, you can see this, hopefully if I can zoom in, there it is. If you slide this forward, right, it blocks the blade from opening the knife. Slide it back, the blade can open freely, right? I'll tell you guys, during the time I was EDCing this knife, I took that off completely because it was just annoying and it was getting in the way. There were times I would try to open the knife and it was locked, and so the knife wouldn't open at all. So it really got on my nerves. I removed it completely. I only put it back for the sake of the review video, right? That's why you can see it there. But yeah, that's totally up to you. I tell you my preference. I ended up removing it because yeah, it got in the way a lot more. See, like right there, for a second there, I couldn't open it because it kind of engages on its own sometimes, and it just got annoying in my opinion. But that is totally up to your preference. All right, so let's get some quick measurements on this guy. See, there it is. It's locked again, right? So it kind of locks on its own. This thing has a mind of its own. Just had to pause there for a second, so I had to remove this safety mechanism here altogether. This is what it looks like when you take it off. It's a simple T6 screw right there. And yeah, I thought I could make it through this whole video with it on, but yeah, it just it got on my nerves right away. It reminded me of the reason why I took it off in the first place. So let's get some basic specs on this guy. All right, let's get some overall length here, shall we? All right, so this guy's coming in at around, all right, comes in around exactly 7 inches overall length, right? So we're looking at the blade, let's see, it's about 3.5 almost, but the actual cutting edge is about 3, right? A little bit less than 3, right? If you count the cutting edge. The handle length, right? Handle length is gonna be, let's see, handle length. Handle length, we have about 4 inches, right? So 4 inches of handle, 3 of blade, and you're looking at a total of about 7 inches combined. Let's also do some quick size comparisons here really quick. Let's put it next to the infamous Para 2, right? Paramilitary 2 right there. That's definitely a much bigger knife for sure. Let's put it next to the Para 3, right? Smaller brother, right? It is definitely more comparable to the Para 3 for sure, right? You can see it right there. Almost, I want to say almost the exact same size. Para 3 being a little bit bigger by just a hair, right? So that's the Spyderco comparison there for you. Let's put it next to the Demco AD20 brothers. Right, here's the clip point version. Right, so it is just a little bit bigger. The get a better opening right there. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. There is the shark's foot version, right? And yes, the Demco are definitely going to be a little bit bigger. I want to say the Kershaw Leek is going to be a little bit on the medium to small size. Medium to small size. These guys are a little bit more on the medium range. That's why they're a tad bit bigger. But again, at least you get a clear idea. This is for comparison purposes. Let's put those guys to the side. Let's compare it to the Sencut brothers here as well, right? We got the Sencut Crawley and the Sencut Saxy. Right, look at that quick comparison right there. Both of those are going to be a little bit bigger for sure, right? Just trying to start a somewhat standardized comparison here in the channel, right? So we're always going to be doing these same comparisons going forward, right? Definitely a little bit bigger there. These are medium knives, I would say. Again, Kershaw Leek is going to be a little bit more on the smaller side. And last but not least, can't forget the classics here. So there it is next to the Ontario Rat Model 1. Let me put this guy right there. Okay, look at that, much bigger knife, of course. Here's the smaller brother. Yep, the Ontario Rat Model 2. So yeah, definitely a lot closer to the Ontario Rat Model 2 than it is to the Ontario Rat Model 1. As you can see, the Ontario Model 1 is just yeah, the medium to large size for sure, right? So definitely a lot closer to the Model 2 than it is to the Model 1. Now you're probably wondering what are some more reasonable comparisons, and I have them right here, guys. This is going to be close to the Elementum. And by the way, the Elementum is the other knife that I am currently reviewing as we speak. I'm doing the review video as well, which will be on the channel soon. I'm EDCing these two side by side because, I mean, look at that, right? They're almost the exact same size, same dimensions, if you will, right? Of course, the Kershaw Leek having that very, very unique Warncliffe, modified Warncliffe blade. But yeah, very, very comparable to the Civivi Elementum. Let's talk action, right? Let's talk action once again, right? Let's talk how this thing deploys. I'm gonna go ahead and shut up for a second so you can listen to it. Right, that thing fires like nobody's business, right? Again, you only have to kind of give it a little bit and then it kind of goes the rest of the way. That is what the Speed Safe Assist is all about, right? The pocket clip does come tip down, right? So it can be switched to tip up. I want to say I wanted to switch it to tip up, but for the time I had EDC'd it, it really didn't get you know, that much on my nerves. Now I will say, if you do go the tip up route, you're going to have way more of the knife sticking out of your pocket than if you keep it tipped down. The reason being is this Kershaw clip right here. This Kershaw clip is something else, right? You show about this much of your knife already by default. If you were to do it on this end, you probably show about that much of your knife. And I don't want to show that much of my knife out of my pocket, that's for sure. So that being said, we have some nice gripping going on, right? Some jimping right here at the top. It's nice and easy to grip. Still have a little bit of the knife still left on my hand there. Can you thumb deploy it? Of course you can, right here, right? Take a look. So it does deploy with your thumb. You can't say the same for, you know, the reverse flick. That's definitely not happening. So flipper opening and thumb deployment, and good if you're, I guess, left-handed. You could also thumb deploy it that way, just like that. Let's do a quick carry profile. Here is what it looks like next to the Para 3. Yeah, definitely a lot thinner than the Para 3. All right, let's check it out next to the Demco, right? Just about a little bit less than the Demcos, just a little bit less than the Demcos. Right, the AD 20.5, just a little bit, but very, very close. All right, let's check it next to the Ontario Rat Model 1. Yeah, big difference right there, big difference. You can see it yourself. The Rat Model 1 is a lot thicker compared to the Rat Model 2. Still a little bit smaller than the Rat Model 2. But yeah, a lot closer than the Model 1 for sure. Let's do a quick hardware check on this, guys. Do a quick hardware check. Now, guys, the tools that I do use are very, very affordable. They are part of this Strabito set. It is very, very affordable. Links in the description. And you get all kinds of different screw bits and everything. I believe we have some, what are we dealing with? Probably dealing with some T6. Let's give that a try. I want to say, yeah, the ones here are definitely T6. All right, and what about the pivot? I want to say probably a T8. Let's check that. Yeah, the pivot screw right there, that's a T8. All right, around the back, let's check handle. Around the back for the pocket clip, yeah, also T6. Also T6 for the pocket clip. And again, you can reverse that if you wanted to, but just know that more of the knife is going to be showing. Let's get a quick read on the blade stock thickness. All right, let's do a quick read on that. I want to say this guy is very slim. So it comes in at 0.09, right, 0.09, right? Closer to the tip, I want to say this gets really, really slicey towards the tip, around 0.04 inches right there, closer to the tip. Let's get a quick weight on this guy, quick weight here. All right, they do advertise 3 ounces, right? So it should be somewhere close to that vicinity, 3.3 ounces, okay? That's pretty close, right? A couple of extra ounces there. We did take off, you know, the one screw with the safety and whatnot, but that doesn't weigh all that much anyway. So, yep, 3.3 ounces for this guy. Taking a closer look inside, it is not milled. It is not milled at all. So these are solid stainless steel scales here, or frame, right? Stainless steel frame. It is not milled on the inside. This is a frame lock, so similar to a liner lock, but this is part of the frame here. So the way the knife locks, right? In case I hadn't explained that already. There it is, right? So when the knife opens, right, part of the frame here, right, pushes in to lock that blade in place. And I mean, this knife is so iconic. This is not a new knife. This knife has been around forever, and people just speak great things about the Kershaw Leek. And again, being a Ken Onion design, right? If you don't know who Ken Onion is, he's a knife designer. He is responsible for so many sexy, good-looking knives out there. So if you have some extra time, take a moment to you know, research Ken Onion and all of his different knife designs. Dude is a beast. The dude is a beast, and I gotta tell you, I mean, this knife has a special place in my heart because this design was my true first love when I first started EDCing, or even looked into what EDC was all about and started doing research and started kind of falling in love with everyday carry. So this knife, did my research, and this was the very first knife that I bought. Makes a great gift for a friend if you're trying to get someone into EDCing knives or what have you. This guy right here makes a perfect gift. A couple of things to keep in mind, guys, in case it isn't obvious enough. I mean, that tip is super pointy, right? So you want to be very careful with that. This is a very pointy knife. It is very slicey. I did mostly cut through cardboard and Amazon packages and things like that. You do want to keep in mind that when you do get some use out of the knife, it will start to kind of show some wear on the blade. So it's not going to stay nice and pretty forever. As you use it more and more, you're going to start putting some lines and things like that on it. It is not a stone wash blade, so it kind of has this gray paint, if you will. So as you use it more and more, you can see those lines right there. Yeah, as you use it more and more, you're going to develop some lines. But hey, that's part of it, right? Look at my handle right here. You can see it is not in perfect shape anymore. There's some scratches here and there. It is bare metal after all, so you know you're gonna have some dings and lines and things like that. But hey, you know, that's what knives are for, right? The clip is definitely stone washed, so I wish the handle was also stone washed too. That would definitely help a little bit more with scratches and lines and things like that, you know, hiding those a little bit better. But you know, you get what you pay for. So this is a $50 knife, guys. Check the links in the description once again if you want to check them out. Those do help out the channel at no extra cost to you. All right, again, going back to the blade steel, so this is a 14C28N, right? Very budget steel for the price, a very common steel, right? That should get a decent edge retention and last you a decent amount of time. And then when it comes time to sharpening it, right, you should not have a crazy difficult time sharpening this guy. That's a good thing about 14C28N. It's pretty common. Again, you'll see it a lot in the budget range. And when I say budget range, guys, going forward, we're talking about somewhere around under 50 or 50 or so ballpark, right? That would be somewhat of a budget knife. You know, medium budget or more premium knives will be around 75 to 100, and then you have the crazy knives that I know, all the Spydercos and Demcos and all that, which are 150 and above, right? But yeah, this guy, I mean, you can't go wrong with the Kershaw Leek. I know I sound like I'm preaching here, but I had the best experience with this guy so far. I felt like my money was well invested. And I got out of the knife exactly what I wanted to get out of the knife. I got a nice, gentleman, clean design, nice looking knife right there. And you could EDC this thing all day long. You can EDC this thing till the end of day. And I just feel like you can't go wrong with it, in my personal opinion. It does have a lanyard hole right here. So if you're into that, right, you got a hole right there for a lanyard hole. We're back to this now. If you prioritize your lanyard, if you prioritize your lanyard, you do have a lanyard hold right here. So if you're into that, you got that guy right there ready for a lanyard attachment. But yeah, just hear the action. Once again, I'm gonna open and close it a couple of times. Right, you guys get a feel for that. You can still do it one-handed, by the way. A lot of people would be scared of, you know, speed assisted, right? You know, you kind of have to do it two hands. Well, you don't. You know, if you get good at it, right, it is very easy to do one-handed. You do have to overcome, right, feel that tension right there, right? So there is a little bit of tension pushing my thumb back. So it's kind of like basically locking back or folding an automatic knife in a way. So you want to overcome that tension, and once you push it in all the way, right, it is good to go. But yeah, it takes a lot to open, so it shouldn't be randomly opening up in your pocket. But if that were to be the case, then you're concerned, right? That's where this safety mechanism here comes into play. Yeah, you guys let me know in the comments if you have a Kershaw Leek, right? Let me know. Did you keep this locking piece on your knife? Did you take it off because it absolutely got on your nerves? I mean, you guys let me know. And by the way, this is the 1660 model. It's a bare bones basic Kershaw Leek 1660. I know these things have some crazy variations. You can find them in carbon fiber. You can find them with some crazy Damascus blades, steels, and everything that you can imagine. You can find this guy titanium. I think there's some versions out there also. Yeah, the sky's the limit with this, such an iconic knife, right? It's so well known, has been around for such a long time, right? The variations for this guy are endless. I know people who strictly collect only Kershaw Leeks, and they have a bajillion different variations of it. Talking pros and cons, I guess you have to really embrace the speed safe, right? I will say it's not as fidgety as some of the other knives out there, right? Because you do have to overcome that opening and closing it. It's a little bit more time consuming, so it may not be as fidgety as some other knives that you're used to. So for example, I'll give you, let's say, the Sencut Crowley, right? This guy can be flipped open, right? It can be open with the button. It could be thumb flicked, right? The brother here, the Saxy, right, could also be reverse flicked, as well as all the other ones. So a knife like this is going to be a lot more fidgety friendly, right, than the Kershaw Leek for sure. But I feel like for the price, you're looking for a solid knife to EDC. If you're okay with the two opening mechanisms, flipper and thumb opening right here, and you can overcome the fact that it's assisted. And some people swear by assisted knives. Some people don't like assisted knives. So it is totally up to your preference. I like a little bit of everything, right? I personally like to experience the different everything, right? So the different mechanisms, the different locking mechanisms and opening methods and blah blah blah, all that good stuff. So for me, it was a no-brainer. It is one of the, aside from automatic knives, right, it is the only assisted knife that I use, that I have as part of my arsenal, and I'm happy with it, right? It does not get in the way. I say this knife makes a perfect primary knife if you're first starting your EDC journey. Now if you already have other knives, like let's say you have some Spyderco knives, or maybe you have some Denko knives, right, this makes this makes a perfect secondary. This makes a perfect secondary knife that you can also carry with you. So if you have a specific cut that you have to make and you rather not use, let's say, some of your more expensive knives, right, then having a good secondary like the Kershaw Leek is going to be your best way to go. All right, summarizing everything, guys, I hope you guys have enjoyed the review. Let me know if I missed anything down in the comments, or what you would like to see in future reviews that I go over for you all. Yeah, definitely give me some feedback on the comments down below. So in answering the original question, is the Kershaw Leek the budget king this year? The answer is yes. This guy is still relevant. This guy's still up there, still beating the competition, still one of those knives that is not going away anytime soon. If you haven't experienced this guy, you're missing out. That is how good this guy is. And with such iconic design, I'm in love with it. I'm trying not to be biased here, but it's just such a great little EDC kniff for the money. It comes in at a good price of around $50. You can sometimes catch it for a good, I want to say, sale from time to time. There are sales, different knife dealers or Amazon or what have you, right? It is definitely a good price for what you get. I mean, this thing is solid. This thing is going to last you a long time. This is a tank of a knife for what it is, like a medium to smaller size. And yeah, right out of the box, I want to say I've opened this thing. I lost count how many times, probably more than I can keep track of. But yeah, that blade is nice and center right there, right? You guys be the judge of that. Let me know. But yeah, gotta give it to Kershaw right now. This is the only Kershaw in my lineup. I'm looking to add some more Kershaws to my collection here, hopefully in the near future. I got my eyes on that new Kershaw Iridium. I guess that's what it's called. I don't know. You guys let me know. Iridium, Kershaw Iridium. If you've enjoyed this video so far, guys, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you so much for sticking to the end here. If you made it this far, comment assisted opening in the comments. That way I know you made it this far, that I have your support for future review videos. And yeah, if you really enjoyed it, give me some feedback below. Let me know what you'd like to see next. By the way, the review video for the Civivi Elementum is going to be dropping in the channel here very soon. It might just be live, right? It might just be live by the time you see this video. So if that's the case, I'm going to link a card right here for that video, guys. Again, thank you so much for all your support. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, guys. Peace.